Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. It's a big week packed with exciting stuff, lots of great books to talk about. Gotta start with this guy. This is Mr. Miracle #1. Definitely the book of the week. All-time DC Comics superstar Tom King writing this one. Mr. Miracle is one of my all-time favorite characters. One of the best concepts in comics by the legendary Jack the King Kirby. Can't say enough about this book. You have to pick up this title no matter who you are or what kind of comics you like to read. Great, great book. Like I say, definitely book of the week this week. And it's always a good week for this guy. This is your latest issue of Detective, bringing back good old Azrael. You love Azrael from back in the day. It's your main Batman book for the week. Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, taking on Poison Ivy in this one. It's your other Bat book of the week. Harley Quinn #25. Harley's anniversary is this year. Coming up, they'll be celebrating that on Batman Day. This is the first issue of the next story arc. Everybody loves Harley. Suicide Squad 23. It's your other Harley book of the week. Also starts a new story arc this week. Huge week for the super guys. This is Action Comics. This and Superman and all the other super books have been red hot. Really been encouraging you guys to jump in on this. A lot of part ones and new story arcs going on, so this is a good time to jump into the super books. It's your latest issue of Action. It's number 985, only 15 left to 1,000. Supergirl, Superwoman, and New Superman round out your super stuff for the week. Told you it was a big week for the super guys. The Flash starts a new story arc this week. This one doesn't need much help. It's probably on your list. Flash is one of the biggest sellers that DC has. Probably one of the biggest books in comics these days. Getting a little help from his awesome TV show. Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps also starts a new arc this week. Hal is my favorite Green Lantern. Might be your favorite Green Lantern too. All the Lantern books are also really awesome. Justice League of America also starts a new story arc this week, bringing in the quest for Ray Palmer. Cool Lobo cover there. Everybody loves Lobo. Justice League and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because you can't get enough Power Rangers. Titans and Red Hood are all of your Rebirth team books. Can't say enough about this Red Hood and the Outlaws. I really hope you picked up last issue because it totally sold out. And I'm not sure that they're going to do a reprint for it. This book might be flying under your radar, but Bizarro is just really awesome these days, so should definitely check that one out. Newsboy Legion is your Kirby 100 one-shot of the week. A lot of this Kirby stuff going on, like the Miracle Man book I mentioned earlier, like the New Gods special they did a couple weeks ago. You might not have any idea who the Newsboy Legion are, but that doesn't really matter because A, has a Howard Chaykin cover, and B, you can see the little Kirby 100 logo they've got on there. You are religiously obligated to buy anything that says Kirby on it. At least I am. And Scooby Apocalypse rounds out your DC stuff, as there are no Vertigo or Young Animal books this week, but this is your Hanna-Barbera book for the week. Love me some Scooby Apocalypse. Great, great week for the DC guys, and a huge week for the Marvel guys too. Let's talk about their biggest book, Secret Empire. This is Secret Empire number 8. Only 2 issues to go. A lot going on in this book. There's a lot going on in the Marvel Universe these days. If you folks with event fatigue or folks that complain about this or that, you must not be reading Secret Empire because it's awesome. They're blowing up the Marvel Universe. Amazing Spider-Man with this awesome Alex Ross cover is one of your Secret Empire tie-ins. But Secret Warriors number 5 is probably the Secret Empire tie-in you're looking for. A lot of fun stuff there. Generations with Phoenix and Jean Grey. Generations is the series of one-shots that's going to be rolling into Marvel Legacy. You're all going to want to know about that. I would suggest picking up last week's Generations Incredible Hulk, Totally Awesome Hulk. Grab this week's Phoenix and Jean Grey. Good stuff. And like I say, you're going to want to know what goes on in these books, and you're going to want to know how it all feeds into the Legacy stuff. Speaking of Jean Grey, here's the latest issue of her title. Spins out of all new X-Men and X-Men Blue. This one caught a lot of people by surprise, but I'm selling more and more issues every time. A lot of people adding this to their list, so grab the latest issue and see what all the hubbub's about. And speaking of all the great women of Marvel, how about Miss Marvel, or Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, or my personal favorite, Jennifer Walters' The Hulk, teaming up with another one of my favorites, Patsy Walker right there. Good stuff. And all new Wolverine. Women of Marvel are really taking over these days. And speaking of Wolverine, how about some Old Man Logan taking on some of his enemies from his timeline, the Sons of the Hulk there. I would really suggest grabbing issue 25, catching up to this week's 27 if you haven't been following Old Man Logan. If you're one of the 3 people not already reading this book, that's good stuff. Defenders, Marvel's latest TV stars. That's your Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Daredevil book. Good stuff. The Inhumans is Marvel's next TV stars. Their big show's coming right around the corner. Love me some Inhumans. Been doing a lot with these guys lately. If you don't know much about Black Bolt and his family, you should grab this issue and find out what all the hubbub's about. Speaking of hubbub, how about Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe? Everybody loves some Deadpool. That's why he's on the cover of Rocket this week. Everybody loves some Rocket Raccoon too. Fun stuff there. Edge of the Venomverse exploded a few weeks ago. I really hope you've got this one on your subscription list because it sells out every single time it drops. That's a lot of fun, along with Venom's regular title, one of the books that's already gone back to its original numbering. This is number 153 with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur there on the cover. And Dr. Aphra and Rogue One, Cassian, and K2SO are your Star Wars books for the week. Just saw Rogue One again recently, and it's really super awesome. Been encouraging you guys to check out the Star Wars stuff, though I don't really need to because everybody's already picking up all this Star Wars stuff. Marvel's done a great, great job with all that. Good stuff. And an excellent week for all the other guys, too. Love talking about Mike Mignola and some Hellboy. This is Hellboy in the BPRD. This one's still rolling, even though the main Hellboy series has come to its conclusion. Love me some Hellboy, some BPRD, some Lobster Johnson, some Abe Sapien, Baltimore, pretty much anything this guy does. That's why I talk about him every week, because he's hugely prolific. And speaking of prolific, here's my man Sergio Aragones with the new issue of Gru. Can't say enough about Sergio, can't say enough about Gru. Much like Jack Kirby, I myself am religiously obligated to purchase anything that says Sergio Aragones on it because he's awesome and he deserves all our money. What an incredible talent. Brilliant, hilarious. Can't say enough about Gru. Good stuff. The Wicked and the Divine is your Image book of the week. Everybody's loving this one. One of the biggest books Image has. Kill or Be Killed by my man Ed Brubaker might be your other Image book of the week. I love anything from Ed Brubaker. But Divided States of Hysteria is my Image book of the week because it's written and drawn by my main man Howard Chaykin. Howard Chaykin is intensely disturbing but genius. So I really like to pick up anything that he does. Dark, edgy, all those kind of words, but masterful storyteller and a really great artist. Really encourage you to pick up anything Chaykin. Huge, awesome week for the guys at Dynamite. Here's the first issue of a new Shadow title. Been talking a little bit about the Shadow because he's got a Batman crossover going on these days. If you love crime noir, if you love Batman, if you love crime fiction, you got to read some Shadow. If you don't know much about the character, you owe it to yourself to pick up this first issue. As I always say, Dynamite does a fantastic job with their licensed properties and with other stuff too, like Sovereigns. This is your old school Gold Key guys toward the end of their timeline, at the end of their career. This is Solar and Magnus and Turok and all those guys. Great stuff there. Kiss Vampirella is my other Dynamite book of the week because, well, I love me some Hottest Band in the Land and I love me some Vampirella. Kiss has always done some really, really interesting things with their comics. And Centipede is my last Dynamite book of the week because I love video game comics as long as the video games don't go past 1982. Love me some Centipede. Great week for IDW. This is First Strike. This is your team up of all of their Hasbro guys like G.I. Joe and Transformers and Mask and Micronauts and all that kind of stuff. Fun stuff there. They do a really great job with their big mashup crossovers. IDW does a good job with all that stuff. Riverdale is your Archie book of the week. Really been encouraging you guys to grab some of this latest, greatest Archie stuff, like Archie, Betty and Veronica, Reggie and Me, Riverdale, Afterlife, Chilling Adventures. Can't say enough about how Archie is just knocking it out of the park these days. If you haven't seen the show, you should check out the show. If you love the show, you should grab the comic. Great stuff. The WWE is your Boom Studios book of the week, because pro wrestling and comics is just like chocolate and peanut butter. Invader Zim is my Boom Studios, Oni Press book of the week, because I love me some Invader Zim. And the comic's just as good as the show. Just as good as the show. Doctor Who, the Ninth Doctor, is your Titan book of the week. There's a book for your favorite Doctor and all the others. So if you're a Doctor Who fan like everybody is, you should definitely be checking out the Titans website. And I want to make a quick mention for this. This is Heavy Metal Magazine. Yes, Heavy Metal Magazine still rolls. Grant Morrison has been totally involved. So if you don't know what heavy metal is, or it's been a long time since you checked one out, this is the all music issue. It is definitely mature reader, definitely not for kids, but has always had some of the best science fiction and some of the best art in comics. Doesn't come out very often, so while there is a new one, really encourage you to grab a copy of Heavy Metal. And speaking of the opposite of heavy metal, this is the all ages section of our show. Here's Mighty Mouse. Love seeing Mighty Mouse back in comics. This is issue number 3. We got the other 2 in stock. Really interesting concept that they've got going on in here that I don't want to spoil it for you. It's a true all ages book, meaning kids would like it, you would like it. Everybody loves Mighty Mouse. Great stuff. And the Powerpuff Girls. My all ages book of the week, because I love me some PBG. Now that I think about it, I'd kind of like to see Buttercup take on Mighty Mouse. I think that would be awesome. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Is your classic Scooby book to go along with your Scooby Apocalypse this week. And SpongeBob rounds out your all ages titles, because everybody loves some SpongeBob SquarePants. Great week for the all ages stuff. Great week from all the different publishers. So make sure you check those shipping lists, get down to your shop, pick up something super awesome. That's all we got for you for this week. You can check us out at blackcatcomics.biz, check out our Facebook page, check out our YouTube channel, check out our podcast at soundcloud.com, or just get on down here to Rock and Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.